Welcome back, everyone. Ravi has become the face of bullying after streaming an intimate encounter between his roommate and another man online. That roommate, as you know, Tyler Clementi, a Rutgers freshman, committed suicide. The suicide attracting national attention, and Ravi's unprecedented hate crime trial was extremely closely watched. Now, the trial wrapped up last week, as you know, with Ravi being found guilty on several counts. At this point, we have heard from just about everyone involved except Ravi himself, that is until now. This interview, it comes to us from Chris Cuomo, of 2020.
Looking back, I was very self-absorbed with the whole thing. It was just about what I was thinking, how I was reacting to everything. It was never, what if Tyler finds out? How is he going to feel about it? I was 18, I was stupid. I wouldn't think about my actions beyond like a minute into the future.
Did you bully Tyler Clementi?
No, I didn't bully Tyler Clementi.
Do you think Tyler Clementi thought that you were bullying him?
No, I don't think he thought that at all.
Did you want to intimidate him, frighten him?
No.
Shame him?
No.
Make him feel that what he was and what he was doing was wrong?
No, I would never feel that about anyone for any reason. Do
you hate gay people?
I don't hate gay people.
Do you believe Tyler Clementi was intimidated by you and your actions?
He knew that I wasn't trying to like intimidate him because he was gay and scare him because he was gay. I think he understood that.
You feel confident of that?
Yeah, I feel confident of that.
Did you want to out Tyler Clementi?
No.
Did you record him having sex?
No.
But it was all said, and people believed it?
Yeah.
And what did that make you?
It made me the worst possible person.
You were the face of the bully.
Yeah.
We want answers when gay kids die for bad reason.
Yeah.
We want to blame people because a lot of people get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And in this situation, we had names, we had faces, we had charges, we had a case.
Yeah.
And where were you in all of that? What were you making of the situation?
I felt like I was being used by everybody, and I felt it was unfortunate that they're taking advantage of me, even though what they think happened isn't what happened.
Now, for more of Chris Cuomo's exclusive interview, you can watch it in its entirety at 10 p.m. tonight in 2020. All right. I'm going to start with you, Basil, because you're a professor on a college campus. He did this when he was a freshman. He was 18 at the time. We saw from the verdict that youth no longer a defense, certainly in this country at 18. The courts look at you as an adult at 18. You can die for your country at 18. You see these kids, though, when they walk in, and especially on a college campus, it's almost an enabling environment in some different ways. Are they adults?
Not quite. And we do treat them as adults to some extent, but they're 18, they're young, they're stupid, and unfortunately, unlike when I was 18 years old, they now have a weapon, this internet, the computer, where any stupid trick, any stupid decision that they make gets magnified exponentially. And once it's out there in the internet, in virtual reality, you cannot pull it back. And I think there was some bias here, clearly, but the reality is no matter how stupid he thought his actions were, no matter how insignificant he may have thought they were, once you put it out there, you cannot take it back once it's on the internet, and hundreds, thousands, in some cases perhaps even millions of people have seen it. So what's happening is your stupidity becomes magnified, and unfortunately our legal system, and perhaps even, and we talked about parents earlier, even the conversation that parents need to have with their children has not caught up with the amount, with their access to the internet.
And technology means different things to different seemingly age groups in this country. I know for me, I was a lot less accepting of Ravi's excuses than people 20 years my junior. I can imagine only 25 or even getting younger here. Different age groups look at technology differently. We were talking about that this morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, the kids who are in college today, they're putting their whole lives on YouTube and on Facebook. Right. And so the idea of recording what happened in that dorm room and putting it on the internet probably had a lower threshold of seriousness for Ravi or for any of those kids.
You got to be joking. I mean, are we seriously having this conversation?
Dominic, but you know what?
We're going to excuse this away because he's 18. What he did was vicious. And the jury saw it for what it was, End of story.
What if I?
vicious.
No, but let me say that.
vicious.
What if? Do you think? And you jump in here at college campus level, and then I got a crime and justice question for you, Senator, which is: do you think 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds on college campus are a heck of a lot more tolerant than guys that are in my 40s? When I was a freshman in college, I heard all sorts of words, derogatory terms about people that I don't think you hear from freshmen anymore. I mean, you look at the polls; they seem to suggest it. Do you think that they, even with a more tolerant student body, would have been more forgiving of Ravi than adults are, because they would have thought that his use of technology, the consequences were different than the intent?
You know, speaking of consequences and intent, let's go back a ways. Anthony Weiner, what he did was stupid, but he made a mistake because he's unfamiliar with the technology. He was familiar with it, but he made a stupid click here and there.
He used it pretty well.
Yeah, he did. Career done, right? Career
Worked
done.
out pretty well.
Consequence, career done.
Yeah.
But you take this guy who did this vicious act and knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly that his actions would allow these images to be broadcast to a lot of people.
And built an audience
and
for it.
built
To
an
me, that
audience
was the
for
big
it.
part
And
about
that
it, right.
so the thing is, you cannot really forgive that.
I will say, I really think that parents and specifically kids really need to use not only this, which is a horrific example, but all the cases we're seeing every single day in multiples to wake up. Because you're right, they're posting.
You tell people, emails are forever.
We see,
right?
I mean, if you think of what people are posting at a very young age, and when we talk about bullying every single day in the school districts, and then there's this track record from the time they're now until they're 80, when their grandkids are going to be able to search what they post, their grandparents posted when they're 15. This is scary stuff. They're going to be held accountable for. Employers are going to hold them accountable.
I know I'm heavy. I just got one question, and it's, you got to take a leap hypothetical with me. I saw the case. You guys see when those two kids pushed the shopping cart over the edge, and that woman, thankfully she's made a miraculous recovery. And her grace and her forgiveness to me was staggering, of the kids that did this. If Clementi's parents, and they haven't, and nor do I blame them, but if they said, you know what, take mercy on this kid here, they wanted a lighter sentence than maybe what the court would be pushing for, do you think that the victim's input should matter when it comes to sentencing, or should the law be the law regardless of the feelings of the victim?
Law is law, but at the end of the day, I think that we've gotten to the point now on social media where we live in a one mistake society, and when I look into his eyes, Ravi, I don't see a sociopathic killer. I mean, I just don't see that. I could be wrong. I wasn't on that jury, but I don't see that. And he did something that was disgusting, and that was vindictive. But most 18-year-old boys think about 1 minute in advance, like he's saying. And maybe he wanted to do something at that moment that he realized was stupid. But his life is done.
Yeah.
His life is over.
And he didn't take a plea when he had the chance. It would have been probation, but he might have had to go back to India. He says he would have made the same decision now. I don't know about that one.